Welcome to a Bible study with Fred. I'm starting in Exodus chapter 27, verses 1 to 8 this morning and making some brief comments. Please follow along with me in your Bible. And thou shalt make an altar of shittim wood, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits broad. The altar shall be foursquare, and the height thereof shall be 3 cubits. And thou shalt make the horns of it upon the 4 corners thereof. His horns shall be of the same, and thou shalt overlay it with brass. Thou shalt make his pans to receive his ashes, and his shovels, and his basins, and his flesh hooks, and his fire pans. All the vessels thereof thou shalt make of brass. Thou shalt make for it a grate of network of brass, and upon the net shalt thou make 4 brazen rings in the 4 corners thereof, and thou shalt put it under the compass of the altar beneath, that the net may be even to the midst of the altar. Thou shalt make staves for the altar, staves of shittim wood, and overlay them with brass. And the staves shall be put in the rings, and the staves shall be upon the 2 sides of the altar to bear it. Hollow with board shalt thou make it, as it was showed thee in the mount, so shall they make it. Cubits as units of measurement came in different lengths. Some authorities say they went from 18 to 22 inches. It is clear that there were different types of cubits mentioned in the Bible. Besides a regular cubit, there was a great cubit. Ezekiel 41:8, I saw also the height of the house round about. The foundations of the side chambers were a full reed of 6 great cubits. There must have been a standard that they went by as a measuring reed is mentioned several times in Ezekiel. So I would doubt that every man was just going by the distance from his elbow to the tip of his middle finger, as there could be some variation in that, which would make building tricky. Remember, Solomon's temple was a modular building, systems built, as some today call modular buildings a systems built structure, where all parts were formed off-site by a plan and then brought to the site and put together. You could not do that without exacting measurements. 1 Kings 6:7. And the house, when it was in building, was built of stone made ready before it was brought thither, so that there was neither hammer nor axe nor any tool of iron heard in the house while it was in building. The ability of ancient peoples to make use of exact measurements is astounding when you consider the precision of the pyramids of Egypt to the buildings of the Incas and the cultures before them left behind in what is now Peru and South America. The horns of the altar were a place people run to for sanctuary and protection from other contexts. But committing murder and running to God's altar for protection would not save someone from punishment. Exodus 21:14. If a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar that he may die. 1 Kings 2:29-34. And it was told Solomon that Joab was fled into the tabernacle of the Lord, and behold, he is by the altar. Then Solomon sent Benaiah the son of Jehoiada, saying, Go fall upon him. And Benaiah came to the tabernacle of the Lord and said unto him, Thus saith the king, Come forth. And he said, Nay, but I will die here. And Benaiah brought the king word again, saying, Thus said Joab, but thus he answered me. And the king said unto him, Do as he has said, and fall upon him, and bury him, that thou mayest take away the innocent blood which Joab shed from me and from the house of my father. And the Lord shall return his blood upon his own head, who fell upon 2 men more righteous and better than he, and slew them with the sword. My father David, not knowing thereof, to wit, Abner the son of Ner, captain of the host of Israel, and Amasa the son of Jether, captain of the host of Judah. Their blood shall therefore return upon the head of Joab, and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David, and upon his seed, upon his house, and upon his throne, shall there be peace forever from the Lord. So Benaiah the son of Jehoiada went up, fell upon him, and slew him. He was buried in his own house in the wilderness. There are words in these passages that are not used in the same way today as they were in early modern English. But there are many studies you can access online that go into great detail on how these items looked. You can go to the Early Modern English database University of Toronto has. They have a very good quick search function. Okay, we'll go to read some verses next, and starting in verse 9, and make some brief comments, or not so brief comments, and then we'll get to the next chapter. So next chapter has some very important information in it that I wanted to share. All right, thank you very much. Hope you read your Bible, study your Bible, cross-reference the verses, pray to God for wisdom and understanding, and then share your interpretation with someone else. If you want to purchase my comments, you can get them on Amazon and Kindle or paperback form. Thank you.